Good morning, class. Well, this is my first video, and I just had to react to this. This is my first time reacting to this channel because DBDR, I think of you as my retarded stepson, and me and my boyfriend constantly talk about you and how to fix your life, and sometimes I leave you comments, but you don't be fucking listening, and that makes me very angry. So today, I watched this video. As you can see, I've already watched it. I've watched a lot of your videos before, and a comment would just not suffice. So we're gonna watch the video together, and hopefully, by the end of this, you can stop fucking being retarded, because it literally annoys the fuck out of me. Thank you.
All right, so it's been about almost 2 weeks now since I've been back in my hometown, and one thing I still can't stop seeing is old people from high school. People I used to go to high school with. I can't stop seeing them. Like I swear to God, it's like every time I leave the house, I will see somebody who I used to go to school with or used to know.
And they're also seeing you. How embarrassing is that?
And it definitely is depressing me now that I'm back home and an environment that I tried so desperately to get away from, knowing that I'm kind of rubber banded back, and I am in therapy again, which I don't want to be.
The only person that brought you back was yourself. Yes, you will go on, and I have already watched this video, but yes, you will go on and in previous videos made it seem like, your mom kind of forced you back, your dad felt bad, everybody was kind of pressured, but you're a grown man. You're 23 years old. You went back out of your own volition, okay? Nobody grabbed you by your ear and dragged you back to your fucking home that you ran away from. Your childhood home that has been so toxic and has not helped you grow as a human being, let alone become a man. So you haven't been rubber banded back, bitch. You rubber banded yourself. Don't forget that. Onward.
My mom pretty much insisted I see this one guy. She was like, "You have to see this guy. He's one of the best. He's one of the best. You got to see him. You got to check him out. You got to see him." And I was like, "All right, fine." So I checked
Red flag. Red flag.
him out. He looks like a young Ben Affleck. Like the dude's a couple years older than me. He's got a wife and kid. I didn't know what this guy could have possibly told me to even remotely change anything. Because here's like the brutal thing. Like, this is like the insane dilemma, like, cognitive dissonance I go through. It's like, I understand that therapy and these things won't help people in my situation or people like me at all. But I'm so desperate for a solution that I'm willing to try it, even knowing that it won't work. And you kind of get stuck in this loop. And, this guy, I thought, this guy's younger. I've seen older therapists throughout my whole life. It's been about like maybe, I don't know, like maybe like almost 2 years ago since I've, done anything like that. And I was like, all right, fine. And the weird part is this guy, he never, like, I texted him and called him like multiple times to make an appointment with the guy. And my mom had to be the one to talk to him because he only responded to my mom for some weird reason. And that's another thing that I'm back to now, which I don't want to be. I finally realized how, like, embarrassing it is now. My mom called.
Pause. I want to say something to you, DBDR. Honestly, for a long time, I was like, is this guy just fucking retarded? Or, like, what is wrong with him? But at one point, you actually exposed and you came out and you said that your mom, kind of controlled your life and told you what to do and is really, although it was obviously very obvious that she was, like, the problem. But once you made that video, I was like, oh no, like, he doesn't know what to do. Like, his mom is literally, like, taking over his life. And as a woman that is a very controlling person and has had a mom that is a very just like me, I know that one, like, I feel so bad for you because I would not want to be like this towards my sons or towards my children in the future anyways, because I know how detrimental it is to them. But sir, you're saying that your mom set you up with a therapist that does not speak to you, but only speaks to her. Is that not a fucking red flag? And I don't want to talk to you like you're retarded because I know you have 2 brain cells in your brain, because I have seen that throughout your videos that you have been growing somewhat. But sir, I will say this at the end, and I have a whole spiel to tell you about this. But my nigga, stop acting like you're dumb. Your mom knew that nigga before you had the fucking the therapist thing, okay? Like, she told him, hey, my son's retarded, please talk to my son's retarded, and then also tell me everything my son says so I can use it against him to also remind him that he's retarded and he needs me. And I don't even think, like, there's half of it where she's like doing it consciously and half of it where she's doing it subconsciously. Like, for example, my mom does it a lot subconsciously, but I know that there is some conscious things. Like they're not dumb, okay? Your mom's an adult. You are not. Next.
Falling and doing everything for me. Like, I'm 5 years old. And that's like one thing I gotta give myself credit. Like, I definitely do feel, less socially anxious to do things. I don't really want my mom to do anything for me at all anymore, because another embarrassing thing is that, like, this guy, when I saw him, so I had the appointment on Monday, and it was in, like, this weird, like, apartment type of building with, like, a bunch of different, like, therapists and psychiatrists, and I don't know, I got lost, and, I had to text him. It was so bizarre, because I texted him, I'm like, hey, I'm in here, I'm lost, what floor are you on, where are you? And he finally responded, like, instantly, and it's like,
because he wants your money. The fuck?
Like, really, dude? Like, you couldn't respond to any of the texts and calls I sent to you, but you respond to that one. It was just very bizarre and odd. So anyway, I finally met with the guy, Ben Affleck. Because I'm telling you, like, he really does look like a younger Ben Affleck. But anyway,
everybody looks like Ben Affleck.
Pretty much, like, one of the first things he asked me, he was like, "Oh, what grade are you in?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, you're sophomore, junior, senior." And I was like, "Dude, like, I graduated years ago." He's like, "Oh, wow." And he's like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, "I'm 23. He's like, oh. And that's another thing that this dude would do.
Pause. The man thought you were in fucking middle school, high school, under 18. Obviously, he thought that you were under 18. That's why he was dealing with your mother and not you, because only somebody that's under 18 cannot make a decision for themselves, let alone their parent has to be very involved in their therapeutic sessions. Okay, that's why he thought you were a fucking high schooler. Okay, you're not a serious person. I understand that. And I don't want to just say become one without giving you the tools to become one, but please. Even the man, when the man said that to you, you should have looked and thought to yourself, okay, well, clearly he thinks that I'm in fucking high school because my mom does everything for me. She probably dropped you off there and was waiting for you in the parking lot. Please be embarrassed by that.
All the time, like, literally anytime, like, I would say something, like, I guess, like, that was serious or just anything in general, he pretty much would, like, put on, like, this Fry voice. Like, if you guys have ever seen, like, movies where, like, the actor, they'll, like, put on, like, this deep, raspy, like, quiet voice whenever, like, there's something serious going on. They'll be like, "Oh, wow, that's intense. Wow." They'll put on, like, that kind of voice. Like, this dude did the same thing, just to, like, act like he cared. It's like, he just, like, I don't know, put on this act, He would just go, wow, yeah, okay, wow. And, I pretty much, another thing that's fucking hysterical. This guy, I told him, I'm like, I've been going to the gym every now and then. Since I'm back, I joined a gym, and he's like, "Oh, which one?" I told him the gym that I'm in, and he goes, "Oh, I'm in that gym too." He's like, I joined that gym too. And I was like, I was thinking, I'm like, of course you did. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, what? It's just like, why is this world so small? You know what I mean? It's like, great, now I'm going to see this fucking guy. And he even said, he's like, "Okay, if you see me, I'm not allowed to say hello to you, and because of the confidentiality, but you can say hi to me." I was like, okay. And I'm just like thinking, like, I hope I don't see this guy. I don't even want to go to the gym anymore because of that. Like, the second that dude said that, like,
shut the fuck up. Continue to go to the gym. I'm not even going to say any more on that. Shut the fuck up. Continue to go to the gym. You need it. Okay.
Yeah, I go to the gym. I go to the same gym you do. Wow. And when he said, oh, if I see you, I'm like, oh my God, like what are the odds? And even too, like I see people from high school in this gym too.
If you see them, I'll bench them. Simple. Simple math. Quick math.
And it's like, it just brings back so many memories, it's just.
Sorry, I'm being so mean.
It really sucks, And the thing that also sucks about, getting older and having, tons of problems, like, it just seems like when you're younger, like when I was a teenager and, middle school teenager, still like not having a girlfriend, not having any desires or dreams for anything. Everyone would always tell me like, you're young, you'll figure it out. You got time. And then as it progresses, when you get older, especially my age now, I'm going to be 23 and everyone just gets angry with you. What's going on? You got to figure it out. It becomes embarrassing now. Like, no one does anything when you're young, and you just...
Pause. Thank you for saying that. Mr. DBDR, I would like to answer this question for you, because I see that you have been grappling with it for a long time, and although I am a very mean, straightforward, direct person, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, would like to answer this question for you. Okay. When you're young, you listen to your parents because that's what you're supposed to do. Then usually between pre-teenage, what is it called? Like pre-teens? Yeah, from your pre-teens to your teenage, you're supposed to develop a fucking backbone, a goddamn brain, a rebellious streak. They call it angst. They call it rebellion. They call it whatever the fuck. But you're supposed to, your parents supposed to say, eat your vegetables. And you're supposed to say, well, bitch, behind your back, I'm gonna eat a bag of chips. You're supposed to just rebel. Sometimes it's really small, like, not eating the healthy foods that maybe you're grown to eat, or something big like, stealing your parents' car, or sneaking people into your house when you're not supposed to, or staying out late when they told you that your curfew is 9 p.m. You're supposed to rebel. That gives you the backbone, which, no offense, you do not have, but you're developing, and the story will go on. Like I said, I did listen to this video, and I seen that you... We'll talk about that when that comes, but that's what you're missing. And that is not something that just happens between 12 and 18, 19, 21. That's not something that just happens to somebody. It's not a developmental stage that comes to you if you don't ask for it. If you do not do the action, that stage will never happen. Your parents will never respect you. You will never respect yourself, and you'll be wondering, what the fuck? Because everything in life must have just happened to you. At a certain point, and people figure this out at 12, so yes, you are retarded, okay? At a certain point, life cannot happen to you. You need to happen to life. And you are a man, okay? And it is worse when you're a man, and you should know that. And yes, obviously I'm a fucking girl telling you this.
End up still the same. Like, I'm still the exact same as I was in high school. Nothing has changed at all.
Embarrassing.
It's just absolutely brutal. And it's like everyone now is angry with me. Everybody now doesn't want to deal with me at all.
I'm very angry with you. Sorry.
They just tell me, get your shit together. You're gonna be 23. Get your shit together. And it's like, if you're failing at life as a man, it's just like people get angry with you instead of helping you when you get older. It's just...
I'm angry with you. Don't get it twisted. But I'm also trying to help.
I don't know. But, yeah, so this dude, he didn't really... This is the thing, like, I was surprised. He didn't even really, like, give me any copes. I mean, I guess because it was only, like, the first session. I thought this guy would give me, like, a list of, like, a bunch of, like, absurd copes and all this stuff. And
because that was your mom's
I pretty much just told him about my life, everything I've went through. I even told him the thing, like, if you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, I told him...
Before you say what you told him, which anybody who's ever watched this video before, watch this video or knows anything about DBDR, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and trigger warning. I'm so sorry that happened to you. As soon as I heard that really pissed me off. If you were my brother, my cousin, my neighbor, my friend, like, I feel so sorry that happened to you. And I don't want to be mean about something like that happening to you, but I do want to let you know that you gotta have a backbone. Like, and you were a young person then, so I don't want to say like, oh, you should have had a backbone then, but like, there's certain times in life where you are supposed to develop a backbone. The only reason why that still affects you today is because you're mad at yourself, because you cannot trust yourself, because in that moment you were not able to stand up for yourself. So it's really hard for you to stand up for yourself now. And I'm not a therapist, but bitch, I'm not gonna Matthew McConaughey you, okay? Like, I'm trying to help. Like, that's why you feel so shitty about it. And also, I feel really sorry for you too, because you're telling this guy that literally is like your mom's friend all of this information, and it's just going to be used against you later. And that's really, really, really shitty. So, if you didn't stand up for your younger you, stand up for you today. Stand up for you when your mom fucking hears that shit from this therapist guy and tries to use that against you and says, you should go on meds. Remember when you got blah, blah, blah? Please, stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Okay, also, I want to say also, my mom's very overbearing. I have 3 older sisters and 1 younger brother. And my brother is very coddled by my mom for reasons that I will not disclose at this exact moment. But when he was younger, I would force him to be a man. Like, force him to be a man. And that helped him at least 75%. He's still a little bit coddled, but bro, he would have been so much worse. So please, this comes from a place of love. I'm trying to help. Anyways, trigger warning for anybody who's never heard this before.
I was like, when I was 12 years old, I had a gay friend who groomed me and sexually assaulted me on multiple occasions. I didn't know what was going on at the time. He would do this all the time at sleepovers. And when I finally told people, they all laughed at me, and even the adults. And he just goes, wow, that must have been horrible. Wow. And it just, I don't know, it just seems so fake. Like, this dude's like the best actor. Maybe he is fucking Ben Affleck, I don't know. But, yeah, he just kept saying, like, wow, traumatizing, wow. I don't know. It just seemed very, like, soyish. It just seemed very, like, forced and fake. And I just wanted to talk, just, like, tell him shit. Yeah, and I just told him straight up, I'm like, I'm bored. I don't find joy in anything at all. Like, I don't find anything fun. My life didn't turn out the way I thought it would turn out. I'm unemployed now. I've never had a girlfriend before. I lost my friends a year ago. I got nothing going for me. And, as I age, things keep getting worse. And he tried telling me, he's like, no, things get better with age. And I was like, it's because that's a load of crap. I mean, my health and looks are deteriorating.
You're 23. You can mold your body, your face, your looks, your style, and everything to still be. If you think you're a 1 right now, you can become a 4. If you think that you're a 0, you can become a 2. And you're 6 something, if you're a 6 something makes you at least a 2 or 3. Okay, and you're a white guy, like, come on, I'm gonna give you at least a 3 or 4, okay? You can easily become a 6, maybe even pushing a 7 if you just go to the gym. I don't know how your face looks, so I could probably give you advice on face style, facial hair, and blah, blah, blah. And even my boyfriend would love to help you with that as well, but it's not over for you. You're 23, okay? You're 23. You can still mold your style, your face, your everything, okay? Your genetics did not ruin your life, so stop fucking saying that. Again, it's the giving up. It's the giving up for me.
Surprisingly, I mean, I was looking at pictures of me even from high school. I looked better in high school, even though, like, I still wasn't good looking in high school.
Pause. See, I didn't even remember that when I first watched this video. See how you just said I looked better in high school? So when you turn 35, you're going to look at yourself at 23 and be like, damn, I look better at 23. Why didn't I try? Shut the fuck up, stop this cycle, and start trying. Because in high school, you would have said, oh, I looked better when I was 7 years old, but now I look shitty at 16. Stop the cycle. Nobody cares. You want to look good? Put the work in to look good. And it's not mewing and all that dumb shit that fucking incels that would never get no pussy talk about anyways. Even though some of those things could help you, but, like, you gotta put them all together, okay? Trust me, the only person that wants you to fucking put your dick into a vagina more than you is me. It's not gonna be mine, for the record, but it's me and my boyfriend. We've adopted you. We call you our stepchild. But continue.
High school, I looked better. You know, I just look different now. I don't even look like, because my license, guys, like, I haven't, the picture was taken when I was like 16 or 17, and I don't even look the same anymore, like, at all. I look more bloated, obviously, you know, different haircut. It's just, I just look different, completely different. Like, I just look defeated now. Like, that's the thing. Like, people probably look at me and go, damn, you know, like, he's defeated. Like, he's just done for. Because I am defeated. I mean,
true.
You know, I told the guy, I'm like, you know, my hygiene over the past couple months have went to shit.
Gross.
I haven't really been taking care of myself as much as I used to.
Take a shower.
I'm just depressed. No one wants to fucking be around me. And
take a shower, you stink.
it just sucks. You know, I told him, and he
take a shower, you
just
stink.
did the Owen Wilson, wow, wow, wow. You know.
If you think you smell, everybody knows you smell. Everybody gets depressed and doesn't want to take showers and blah, blah, blah. Everybody has that moment. A lot of people have that in their teen years. You're clearly still in that pocket of life. Wash your ass. Take a shower. Listen to this in the shower if you need to. Wash your ass, take a shower. Make sure you get in between the crack and underneath your balls. Wash your ass, take a shower.
Just over and over again. And, it really just didn't do anything for me. You know, just telling this guy. He even asked me too. He's like, you know, how do you feel finally talking to somebody about this stuff? And I was like, because I'm thinking, like, I'm doing this shit all the time on here, you know? I'm like, dude, I don't feel any different at all. Like, I feel like I literally left the same way I came in, except, like, with minus some money. You know, I mean, I didn't pay for it, but
of course,
you know, another thing that's funny too is this guy, you know, he cut me off. I forgot what I was talking about. I also remember actually he was like telling me, he's like, oh, do you watch any movies and television? And I told him, like, dude, like, movies and TV, it's a waste of time to me now. Like, I feel like I'm wasting my life away anytime I watch movies and TV, and I just don't see a point. And then he was like talking about, like, oh, I watched this show on Netflix, it's so good. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have any of that.
This guy got licensed to be a therapist online, okay? This guy's not real. Your mom is getting a cheap deal. That's why he has no copes. He has no actual thing. Honestly, if you want any sort of therapist experience, I think the best way, well, at least what I say to women, is like to watch those therapy like shows, like couples therapy on Showtime. That was a really good one about like making it work with a man, and it wasn't necessarily because she gave the best answers. It was more about like being able to see yourself or see the problems you have or the things that you say on TV, and being able to kind of it be a mirror for you. That's number one. But for you, I would definitely think, like, for therapy wise, like, I mean, there's a good one with Jonah Hill on Netflix, and like, it's not the best because it is kind of self-serving for Jonah Hill, but like, there is some things that you could watch that could be beneficial to you if you want to see what like real therapy or what a real therapist would say to you. But like, I know this is going to sound really, really bad, and this is very controversial, but like early Andrew Tate videos were actually really informative for men. Like, they're really hard to find nowadays, and I know it's very controversial nowadays, but like, very early content for him was really good. And you can find a video maybe of him talking now, but now he's just talking like in retrospect. He's not really talking to the guy. He's more saying like, this is what I say to men, instead of saying like what he should say to men, because he's already said it so many times anyways. And a lot of that stuff is no longer online. But like, I can find some things for you if you really want to go that route. But truth of the matter is like, the core principles are the same. Like, trust yourself, learn to trust yourself, and the way that you build trust within yourself is, and you have to understand that's a psychological thing too. Like it's literally like neural pathways in your brain and whatnot. I think John Doyle would be really good for you actually. Now that I think about it, John Doyle, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. If you are a little bit based, maybe you have, but he would be really good for you. I don't know if you watch a lot of porn, but he has a really long video about porn, which is just like 10 out of 10. And it's not necessarily just about porn, but it's more about just like addictive behaviors and not being able to trust yourself and how your brain works. And it's like a 2-hour dissertation, and he hits the nail on the head so well that like I really feel like that should be like cut into a movie and like put in schools, like truthfully. But like John Doyle would be a good resource for you because this guy is not the guy for you. And also while we're still on him, you should have asked him more questions. Like, oh, how long you been with your wife? How long have you been doing this? What do you think your goals are for me? Like, first of all, the person's not interviewing you, you're interviewing them. You know why you're interviewing them and they're not interviewing you? Because you're paying. Period.
That stuff.
Period.
Even told him, like, he asked like video games. I'm like, I'll play like maybe once a week, but I just get bored of it. I don't enjoy video games at all. I don't enjoy anything. Like, just straight up, I don't enjoy anything. I'm just, depressed all the time.
Because you doesn't like to hang out with you.
I don't know what to do. I told him I'm depressed and pissed off. Don't know what to do. And he pretty much was like, I'll stop you right there. Will you take medication? And I was like, I don't know, I'll think about it. Because that's something I really don't want to take. Like, it's something I really don't want to do.
Don't.
The thing is, I don't know if you guys have ever, went to school with, like, kids like this who, like, because I had, like, a handful of them, maybe, like, 3 to 4, where they always had, like, family drama. They were always, like, missing school. They were in, like, mental hospitals. They were always on pills. They were having mental breakdowns because, like, either the medications didn't work or whatever the cause was. They would always have mental breakdowns, and their life was just a mess, and it just fucked them up, like, really bad. That's the one thing I'm kind of glad that, like, my parents didn't do was, when I was younger, give me medication. I mean, now, like, my mom's like, oh, I think you need it. Because obviously, like, talking to people does nothing, But, yeah, you know what's funny, too? Like, in school, like, parents as well, like, and teachers, they always say, don't do drugs, kids! No drugs! Don't do drugs! They're so bad! And then, all of a sudden, like, oh, your son has...
I just want to say this one thing, just because it's just funny, just to kind of break up the me just shitting on you for however long this has been. But like when you make that voice, like my boyfriend finds it so funny, but I find it so cringe. I'm not telling you to stop it at all. Continue to do you. But I literally, every time I hear it, I just want to fucking choke you. My boyfriend thinks it's so funny, so I'm sure that a lot of people enjoy it. So that voice is like funny, I guess. But like every time I hear it, I just want to fucking choke you. But he likes it, so just saying. Thought I would let you know if you do ever listen to this.
Has ADHD, and then, the parents, oh, what? ADHD? Where's the Ritalin? And yeah, it's just, I just find that, like, so comical and funny, like how, oh, anti-drugs, oh, get the Xanax, social anxiety, depression, get the Lexapro. And they just, like, jump to that shit, and it ends up, because these things do change your brain. That's what I'm worried about, because, like, knowing my luck, if I start taking something.
Sorry, I do not want to keep pausing it, but every time you do not do what you said to yourself that you're going to do, you change your own brain. More than drugs could ever change it. Just saying.
My hair might fucking fall out, I might get fat, and my dick might fucking stop working, so I don't exactly know if that's something I want to do. And it's like, you even realize, too, it's like, okay, well, even if it does improve my overall mood, my life will still be the same. You got to understand that, even like when psychiatrists like do give you meds, it won't exactly like change your life. Sure, like your mood will be better, but even if you're more motivated, all it does is just increase your odds at, trying different things, which doesn't guarantee anything at all. I've tried tons of things and done lots and lots of things without medication, still to end up in the same spot. So if I try even more things, let's say I take something and it motivates me, I'll probably still be in the same position. You know, I could take some extreme social anxiety pill that will remove all my social anxiety. I can ask out 100 girls a day and still get rejected by every single one of them. You know, it doesn't guarantee anything. So, you know, that's that. And I don't know. You know, I might make a video on, you know, my thoughts on like antidepressants and stuff.
Please do.
But I mean, yeah, the dude pretty much was like, he told me, he's like, this is out of my, you know, what do you say? He's like, this is out of my something. He's like, this is out of my reach. And I have this great psychiatrist that you can see. And he also told me, he gave me a bunch of stuff. He's like, you've been holding in lots of trauma and this is very serious. And like, you guys already know how, like, if you've been watching my channel, I just told them everything, you know, that's been going on, you know, my whole life.
You have.
My whole life story so far. And he just goes, wow, yeah, it's out of my reach. You got some extreme trauma, extreme stuff. I really think you should take medication. And
you went to a Walmart therapist to try to get like Neiman Marcus advice. And it makes me really sad that not only was this guy not able to give you any advice, but the fact that I know everything. I don't know if you've told your mom everything that you've said on your channel and everything that you said to this therapist, but unfortunately, I just know it's going to be used against you. And this is why I'm kind of making this video in the first place, is because it just makes me so mad, and it hurts my heart so much, because I know like the next video is you saying like, okay, well, my therapist told my mom that everything that happened to me as a kid and blah, blah, blah. And now she's telling me that I have to take these pills. And that makes me more angry. Like, that's why I'm like, yo, a comment cannot do enough. And you already know that I stay commenting on your shit, because this is not my first time that I have said something to you. And I mean, it's the same account, and I specifically made this video on this account, even though I have a lot of things on this account. This is my favorite YouTube account, but I'm literally doing this for you, my stepchild.
I don't know. I just pretty much, you know, he told me, because he for some reason, the dude, again, he doesn't talk to me. He'll text my mom and not talk to me, the patient.
Of course not.
To my mom, and he told her that, you know, he recommended, he kept saying, he's like, oh, you need to go to an IOP, which I had to Google what that was, you know, because I didn't know what it is, apparently.
Why not at that moment did you not say to your mom, what's an IOP? And she goes, I don't know, son. Just like, so then you're saying shit and he's saying shit that nobody knows what the fuck it is. Why is nobody telling you anything? You're not 14. You're not 12. Listening to a conversation with your mom, a conversation your mom is having with your therapist on speaker. You are a 23-year-old grown man. You could have died in war already. Okay, if you have a question, ask it. Stop being embarrassing. Because if I'm mad at you, your brain is even madder at you. Like, please, advocate for yourself.
It's like intensive outpatient program. You go, it's for people with like mental health disorders and blah, blah. And you basically go, and it's like, I don't know, apparently from what he said, it's like a couple hours a day for like, you know, like weeks or something. It's like a program. It's just sort of like group therapy. And I'm thinking like, this is such a waste of time. Like, I would benefit so much more by just getting my old job back and making some fucking money than wasting. Because think about this: if I waste like the next year, like what I was talking about earlier, like those kids that would miss school, get held back because like mental health problems, and their parents are fucking, they don't know what to do, and they keep, you know, throwing them on meds and this and that. Like, if I do that, if I go on like that thing, like where I'm just, you know, in and out of like therapists and psychiatrists to try and, you know, diagnose something when, you know, the issue is that I'm subhuman, I'll pretty much be wasting my time. You know, let's say a year goes by, I'll have this huge gap in my resume. They'll be like, what the fuck happened to you? If I tell them, yeah, I was in and out of therapies and psychiatrists and psych wards, they'll be like, we don't want you. You know, obviously they won't tell me that. They'll probably give me a different reason. Oh, you're not qualified, even though, you know, because jobs have to do that. They have to
This is so, I have to tell you, just you saying no just brought your voice down to a different like octave that you're not usually at. And as a woman, I could hear it and it sounded so manly. It sounded so sexy. It sounded so like, wow, this guy fucking says no. Like it sounded hot. You'd be like, no, I don't need to go on fucking pills. I think I need to get a fucking job. Like that mentality right there is that's your pocket. Stay there. Stay there. And you only got that pocket low key recently because you finally told your mom, fuck off. I'm going to my dad's. Like you literally just like this guy just like this little glimmer of light that I'm seeing, this spark just became, and I really want you to nurture it because it's a small spark and your mom is a huge flame and you went back to the flame, and I just don't want it to dim you. I don't want it to fucking dim your light. I don't want it to just extinguish it. Because truthfully, DBDR, like I really like am invested in your story. So is my boyfriend, but like I'm really invested in your story, and I like there's a lot of people that follow your channel and we seriously want to see you win. There's a lot of guys that relate to you and are in the same place and just don't know what to do. And truthfully, you don't know what to do. So you guys are all just a bunch of motherfuckers that don't know what to do. But like, I'm one of the people that do know what to do. Listen to me. Do not let your mom continue to fucking diminish. Like, you just said no. Okay? You said no, I'm not doing that. And I'm so sorry I cut it off before it even happened. Where you fully said no, I'm not fucking doing that. And listen, that's what you should have learned when you were 12 to 19, okay? Like, you just say no. You're like, I'm an adult, and I say no. Even when you're a fucking child, you say, well, I can wipe my own ass, so no. Watch Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, okay? If you can wipe your own ass, you're an adult, okay? Whew. And you did that. You did that right there. And that is a step in a huge staircase that is in life, and how to be a man and how to become a man, how to be born a boy, be born a fucking sperm cell and die a man. And you're there. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm so proud of you for saying no. That's what made me really make this video. Like, I'm so proud of you for saying no. And I saw that like glimmer of hope. So continue that. Continue that. Anytime you feel some sort of way like, oh, this is weird, look your mom in the face and be like, no, I'm not doing it. No, I don't want to go on pills. No, I don't feel like doing that. No, I don't feel, and she's going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you just say, I hate that you make that voice and I just did it. But oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then you just say, well, I think that I'm 23 now, Mom, and I think I can figure out what I want. So no. And I say that to say, there's certain things you tell your parents and certain things you don't. And you tell your parents way too much for a 23-year-old man. But you're starting, I'm going to like act like you're a 14-year-old. So just be like, Mom, I don't want to do that. And if she says, no, you have to. Be like, I don't, because I don't want to. Like, act like a bratty teenager. Be like, no, I don't want to. And she says, well, if you don't want to, what is she going to say? I'm going to kick you out and bring you back to your dad's? You're already at your dad's. You are becoming more of a man at your dad's than you are at your mom's house, okay? Because your dad left you the fuck alone. He left you to your own devices. He said, son, figure it the fuck out. Your mom is not allowing you to do that. At least when your dad said figure it the fuck out and gave you no help, which I also don't think is the greatest thing, but at least you were figuring it the fuck out. You were growing. Like, if your mom says something, just say no. And if you think she's going to say, I'm going to kick you out, 1, your dad's will be a blessing. 2, let's be real. She's on your ass so much, she might as well live inside of your anus. You're not going to be homeless, sir. You'll be fine. Say no. And if you can't say no about the pills, you're too scared of your mommy, then start with, hey, son, do you want Taco Bell? No! I don't eat slop. Start with small things if you need to start small. Okay? But you need to continue to say no. Start small if you need to. Again, with all love, respectfully.
Virtue signal their asses off and, give like some excuse. So, just so they don't get sued. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to go on like a long like bender of just going to different people for no reason. I was even thinking about it when I was down south. I pretty much like one day I was just like miserable and I was like thinking about, starting medication. I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to start something. Maybe medication will help. And, I called this one place and I didn't even have to meet with a therapist. I thought, you have to talk to somebody before they prescribe you something. But this lady over the phone, she was like, okay, you have a Zoom call, a Zoom meeting. It was like with some nurse. And she was like, you're going to tell her the medication you need. If you need Lexapro, Xanax, Adderall, and we'll get that to you. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, these people haven't even talked to me. And I'm going to go to this woman and tell her what medication I need? Like, that doesn't sound right. It was just, like, very weird. I'm like, is it really that easy? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I canceled the appointment as soon as I made it. I called back. I'm like, because I looked at the lady. She looked like, just like, typical, like, middle age, like maybe like 40, 50. She had like the Karen Bob haircut, like the old haircut I used to have. She kind of looked like that. If you guys have ever seen that TV show, like the Long Island Medium.
Love that show.
So yeah, like I saw her. I'm like, I don't know if I trust this. I don't exactly know if this is something I want to do. So I called back. I was like, let me just like deal with this, by myself and, get through. Because I had a forklifting class I was going to get through and, I was working this job for like, I only worked 2 days. So, before I had to go back home. So,
they saw potential in you and you ran away.
I pretty much had to stop all progress anyway to come back home. So, but yeah, I was thinking to myself, you know what, let me just like just look for more jobs, get my shit together and, make some money and just, yeah. But I'm back now. I got to deal with this, this mental evaluation I got Friday. I got to go to this mental evaluation.
You went back to what was familiar for you.
Which, yeah, I don't... Again, like, talking to these people do nothing, You know that. And it was very odd, like with this guy, like, I would just tell him, like, like, this is who I am. Like, I don't know, I'm bored of everything and nothing's fun. He's like, that's not normal. That isn't normal. It's and normal. I tried telling him, I'm like, but yeah, like, there's things that, when I was a kid that I used to like, I don't like now. And he goes, yeah, but that's not normal.
It's about to end, and I know I've dragged this on. I don't even know how long this video is, but I do want to say something about that specifically. But it is very important that you had that thought, because a lot of the things that you did enjoy as a child should be things that you have expanded on and still enjoy as an adult. That's how people really become like serious people. But the fact that you're like, well, nothing I enjoyed as a child, I don't enjoy now. Question. Like, for example, for me personally, when I was younger, I used to love riding bikes and then like exploring new neighborhoods, kind of like going through, like, those like bike paths and, excuse me, my bad. I wish I can cut that out, but I don't know how to edit, so enjoy. Like enjoying, like, just exploring the neighborhood, just like going through places I shouldn't go to, just like being that person. So when I realized when I got a little bit older, I was like, well, I'm not doing anything I used to, first of all, I realized first I didn't enjoy anything anymore because I was just working to live, paying bills, just doing what they tell you adulthood actually is. So I stopped doing everything that wasn't obviously paying my bills, because you still have to do that because we are adults. And I was like, let me focus on the things that I used to find joy in as a child, even if it's stupid. Like I used to like write covers for songs, which is so cringy. I would never say out loud. I just happened to say it right now. I used to love, like, riding the bikes and like doing those things. And as soon as I started to really start doing that, I found the joy in it again, because like that's what you're supposed to do. Like, I remember another, I won't call you an incel YouTuber, but like another guy, so somewhat like you, was like, oh, I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for an adventure, and now I don't. I got older and there's no adventure. You create the adventure, okay? We're still the same people we were when we were 8 years old. That's what they say. Oh, like harbor your inner child. It's not about coddling them. It's about like what made that kid so confident. For people like me, no offense. I'm not trying to say that's not you, but like what did you like? Okay, what did you like? I want you to go home and write a list of at least 5 things that you enjoyed to do when you were younger that had nothing to do with wanting to be liked by other people and wanting to have friends. Like, what did you actually enjoy doing? Even if one of them is video games, that's fine. You obviously don't find a lot of love in video games anymore, and that's a whole different conversation in itself. But find those things like that you did as a kid before you were steamrolled and told what to like and what to do and how to act. This is gonna be my last interjection, because I know this video is long as fuck.
I'm just getting older, and my life just didn't turn out the way it was supposed to. I don't think there's really anything wrong. I think that just I'm a product of just constant bullying when I was younger, rejections, being made fun of, and this is just how I turned out. And I just told them, like, a big issue now is obviously not having a job. Because think about this, like, if I was employed, I don't think you guys understand, like, because I used to like being neat, but after having a job, like, it's so good, like, to have a job instead of just sitting around and doing nothing. Because like, if I had a job, first off, I'd be making money. I wouldn't even have to deal with this stupid shit because I wouldn't have had time. I think people have too much time. Like, that's that's just like a big problem with me right now, is that I'm unemployed. I think that's a big problem with like most dudes too, who just like sit around, and just like date all the time just to like get my mind off shit and do shit. But
good for you.
Of course, like, I never meet anybody and nothing really ever happens, but I just kind of like get out and go for walks and do stuff, just explore. And
thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like a big problem.
I didn't even know that you said that, but also you don't need to meet people. You didn't meet people when you were 8 years old, and if you did, you met other 8-year-olds. So now you're 23, and if you want to go outside and explore, then you want to meet other 23-year-olds. So there's avenues for that. I'm not going to get into all of them, but there's avenues for that. But also, I didn't know that you said what I just said. Again, last time I'm cutting you off. Also, I love you. I really, really respectfully want you to... I want to see you in. I genuinely want to see you in. And I genuinely want you to listen to this video while you're in the shower wiping your ass, because please, you cannot be out here stinking. Because if I'm a 23-year-old seeing you on a trail and you stink, like, I'm not looking at you. You think that I'm moving away from you because you're ugly. I'm moving away from you because I can smell your asshole. So please, listen to this in the shower and wipe your balls. Because... gross. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck?
It's just not having a job, not having anything to do. You just kind of get stuck in like this spot, where you just kind of can't get out of. And yeah, I mean, that's that. It's funny too, because like the guy, the therapist, he was basically like, oh, I'm here for you. I'm here. It just seems so forced and fake. Like, even when I was on the phone, down south with the one clinic or whatever it's called to get, to possibly, get put on like medication, the woman was just like over the phone. She just sounded like so fake. Like, yeah, okay, you're safe. It's just very bizarre. I don't know. I guess because they don't know who they're dealing with. But at the same, I just like see right through it. It's like, there's no way you're that nice on default. Like, you could talk to me normally. You don't have to put on like this, talk to me like I'm a toddler, But yeah, that's pretty much it for now.
Proud of you. Ignore my videos. It's none of your business. Listen to real niggas. Real nigga. The fuck.